Hello there. In this video we're going to take a look at fixing this Minidisc deck. As you can see, everything seems to be fine. It will load the disc, it will play it. As you can see, it will play the disc. We can skip tracks. But if we attempt to eject it, it will eject. You can hear the motor attempting and the mech attempting to lift, but it won't physically do it. So a little tip, if you do happen to have a machine like this and you've got your disc stuck in it, simply turn it over, press eject, and your tape will come out because the gravity makes it heavier when it's upside down for the mech to drop. So what we need to do with this machine is fit a new loading belt. So I've already taken the screws out. Depending on the deck that you're working on, you may have 3 or 4 more extra screws, but as a rule there's usually 2 or 3 on either side on the Sonys and 1 on the rear. Some of the cheaper decks only have 2 screws either side and that's it, such as this one. So before you start work on anything like this, always make sure you've disconnected mains power to the unit. And what we need to access on here is we need to remove this mech here. It's held in by 4 screws. You don't need to remove the front panel or anything, it's just simply a case of remove those 4 screws. So we just disconnect the ribbon cables and the earthing tab and you'll find it's ready to lift out. And there's the mech. Now hopefully you can see just there is your drive belt, motor and pulley, and that's what's slipping. Over time the rubber belts just get very spongy, they start to disintegrate. On tape decks especially they'll just melt and physically stick and split and come apart. Now depending on the actual mech you've got, a lot of the mechs on the Sonys or other brands are metal and you have to unscrew quite a few parts, but on this particular deck and this revision it's quite easy. All you need to do is there's a small tab on the back there, just pull that back and release, and you can see it's mounted on a spring, so don't pull it too far otherwise the springs will release. But as you can see, you can now access with a pair of pliers or long nose pliers, a pair of tweezers, the drive belt, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. You can also give the deck itself a general clean while you're at it, such as clean the head and lubricate the drive spindle, etc. So what we'll do now is we will just lift that up. And hopefully you can see, simply a case of pull out the belt. As you can see, the old one is, well, it's deformed, it's shiny, it's just not very good. What we'll do now is take our new belt, same process as before, locate onto the drive spindle and then just pull it round the pulley, like so. Make sure you don't twist it, and that's all in place. While we're here, we'll give the lens there a quick clean. Also the head there, because this is your raised head on the top spindle, on the top arm should I say. And we'll also lubricate this shaft here, just to make sure that everything's nice and smooth. The deck did sound smooth when it was running, but we'll just do those bits while we're here. I always use isopropanol. You do find some people use things like methylated spirits. Not a good idea because it leaves a film. We'll just gently clean and then dry the laser head. While you're at it, just give the shaft a quick clean, get any residue off. Likewise the drive spindle on the top, because they accumulate dirt. And now we'll just lubricate. Okay, so we can now put the mech back in the deck. Just make sure you locate it the correct way, as in the front to the slot at the back there, or at the front, depending on which way you want to talk about it. You just sit the rubber feet onto the holes and then locate the screws into place. And once you've got a couple of screws located, you should be able to tighten it up. Located, there we go, now it's located. Don't tighten them up all the way to start with, just locate the deck into place. There we go. Now we can tighten them all. These little rubber mounts act as shock absorbers, so all you're doing when you tighten these screws in, other than physically locating it and holding it in place, is it creates a type of cushion for the deck to float on, so you get less read errors. As you can see, it does float. Put your earth cable back on. And now just pop your ribbon cables back in. A little bit tricky, but they will go back. Make sure you don't put them in on an angle, that they're going nice and true, otherwise you'll find you've got problems later on. There we go, so they're all back in. Make sure nothing else has come loose while you've had the deck apart. And now we should find the deck works as it should. So now I'm going to power the deck back up. Right, do it self-test, and now we'll pop our disc back in. Everything reads as it should. Always a good idea to skip it as far to the end as you can in terms of tracks, back and forth a couple of times, just so you can let the lubrication go all the way up and down the drive spindle. As you can see, it's all playing as it should. Now the moment of truth, your new belt should allow it to eject. There we go. And that is basically that. There's not much else to tell you on this particular machine. As I get some other decks coming, I'll go through those when they have different mechs, so you can see the differences in odd turn and the drive belts. This is quite an easy deck to work on, but as I say, some of the bigger Sonys, they do tend to need the whole mech stripping down, but there is a way around it if need be. When I get one of those decks in, I'll show you. But I hope you found that video useful, and if you would like this video, and please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified of any future videos that I put up. Thanks for viewing and hope to see you again soon.